And in today's video we take a closer look at the Timberline full contact fighter. That's knife collector here. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Henk and I'm pretty excited because in today's video we have the full contact fighter, a Greg Lightfoot design of Timberline, and I always wanted to handle one of these, but very hard to get for a reasonable price, I think, till a few weeks ago. One of my buddies in the United States, and you have to check out his channel if you haven't done already, Love Them Knives, LTK. He showed this one on his channel, and it was a special occasion because these knives, these are knives from they will sell for about $110, $130, somewhere in that price range. Blade HQ, I think, offered these for $180, but LTK from Love Them Knives could buy a few of these for a steal, really a steal, at Smoky Mountain Knife Works, and I think he bought him for just under $20, and he offered a few on his channel for sale for, if I remember correctly, $28 including shipping. So I bought two of these, one for another buddy in the United States, and if you read comments on the under my videos, you probably have heard of him. It is Mr. Gearbeer, good buddy of mine in the United States, awesome guy. And I asked LTK to send the knives over to Wes, Mr. Gearbeer, so he could keep one for himself and then send one to me. Awesome design. I really like this design. In a way it reminds me of the Jake Hoogback designs of the A10 and the A15. Very tactical looking design, and I think that's the purpose of this design. Self-defense, tactical. I have a lot to complain about this knife. I will come to that later on, but I'm also very fond of this knife just because of the very cool, badass looking design. It's a big knife, D2 tool steel, although there are no markings on the blade of the blade steel, but Smoky Mountain Knife Works had it in their specs. It's the model number. Produced in China for Timberline. It is a flat grind with very it's more almost a saber grind with a very broad high flat portion. The thick stock, because of that, tapers down to not a very thin edge, but I don't mind it because I just like this design very much. And then there is a swedge, a one-side swedge, so a very strange, particular, funky complex grind. I just like it a bit harpoonish like, also a bit tanto-ish. There is aggressive traction of the jimping, very, how do I say it in English? Well, I don't know how to say it. Very deep, aggressive cutouts for the jimping. G10 scales on a steel frame. So it is a frame lock, but because of the scales you could call it a liner lock, but when you remove the scales the knife is fully functional, so it is a frame lock. No milling work on the steel liners of the frame, so it is pretty heavy. Very big lanyard hole. Very nice standoffs. Kind of gear pattern. 3D milled, so I like these standoffs. It's a very rigid construction of the frame. Thick stop pin, and then the tang is round off to distribute the forces when opening the knife. It runs on bearings, and it's hard to let it fail, so it is very smooth. You can push button it, you can light switch it. The flipper is very pointy, not chamfered, so when it acts like the finger guard, that's one of the points I don't like. That's very pointy, it pokes into your finger, and when you really hard use the knife, the chance is that the flipper tab will cause some wounds in your finger, maybe even bruise it or whatever. The clip is a tip up carry only, and it is pointing upwards in a very aggressive way, and it really pokes into my hand, so when using this knife without gloves it has some hot spots. The flipper tab or the finger guard, the clip. I have removed the clip and tried to bend it with the pliers, but I quit with it because I was afraid to break it, because it's very rigid and I really was afraid to break it. When I got the knife, the frame was not screwed together very good. It had movement in it. So I removed the scales and I found out that the standoffs were not screwed tight. But that's of course a very minor issue. Just remove the scales and you have solved it. And then this is pretty pointy, so depending how you hold the knife, if you want to extend your reach, these two areas are poking into your hand. When you have a regular grip you don't have problems with these two areas, but when you want to extend reach, these will cause a hot spot. This knife is designed for tactical use, to use with gloves, and then you don't have these issues. Centering, it's hard to see because of the single side switch and the harpoon shape, but it is very well centered, very smooth, no blade play, So I like it very much, and then for $28 for me, including shipping, etc. Very nice price. I think the regular price point of this one between $110 and $130 is way too much for this knife. Way too much. I think this is more a $50, $60, $70 knife, and then it is well paid because of the materials, the construction, etc. It comes in this nice pouch with a foam insert, really very nice. And then the pouch sits in the very sturdy cardboard box. Model number, the name of the knife, and then the pouch sits in the plastic baggie as well. So nothing to complain about the package. It's a big knife. Let me measure it up. It's 22.5 centimeter. Blade length is 10 centimeter, and then in inch it's 8.7 inch long overall. Yeah, 8.8 inch. Blade length is 3.9 inch, 3.8. And then the weight, it is 182 gram or 6.4 ounce, so pretty heavy. But it is a hard use knife, I think, for tactical use, so that's not a problem. Yeah, some issues, and that could have been better. Not too hard to make the clip in another way, so it will not poke into your hands. Not so hard to chamfer the finger guard or the flipper tab, so it will not bruise your finger when using it hard. But other than that, I like this knife very much, and for the price I got it. Awesome. I think they are sold out at Smoky Mountain Knife Works, so I've looked on their website. I couldn't find them anymore, so I think they all sold out, and I understand it fully. The full contact fighter of Greg Lightfoot. Awesome knife. So, if you like this video, please like it. If you like my channel, please subscribe. That's it for now. Bye bye.